on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and BigGTV.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at TOA.com. Danny Brewer here with you. I'm pleased for a couple reasons. Number one, I get to stand in for John Dinkins. I don't think I can carry his gym bag, but I'm here for John Dinkins. And another thing I'm better than a buttermilk biscuit because I've got three Caudill boys here, led by Stewart's Creek head football coach Ben Caudill. Coach, how are you this morning?
Doing great. Great to be here. Great to have both my two boys with me as well.
Yeah, outstanding, because, I see that they're some handsome-looking kids. Looks like chips off the old block. The father-son thing, because I got two boys, too, so I understand the importance of all that stuff. So hats off to you for y'all being super close, because it's always a good thing.
Yes, sir. They love, putting their jerseys on Friday night and having their names on the back of their jersey. Their mama makes sure they're always got their jerseys on and ready for Fridays, and it's always special to have all of our families kind of together. They sit in the end zone at home games, and it's means a lot to me to have their support, and every coach would tell you that that's what allows us to do what we love to do. Absolutely right, Coach. Let's talk a little bit about family. Last night was a great family night. Closed the home regular season with a big win, 49-26 over Knoxville Webb. Let's talk a little bit about the game last night, Coach. Yeah, first off, really glad to be able to get this game. I thought there in mid to late January we were only going to have 9 games, and finally we were able to find Knoxville Webb. Coach Mahoney used to be the offensive line coach at Tennessee under Butch Jones, and a tremendous football coach. And I tell you, Danny, they've got a guy, Shavar Young, who's committed to Clemson, who is a very tremendous football player. Took the opening kickoff to the house, and that's obviously not the start we wanted. And he scored all their touchdowns, scored one on like a 4th and 25. That was really disappointing, but he is as advertised. And, we were able to luckily contain him just enough, and they have scored a ton of points, throughout the year. Almost every week they're, lighting up the scoreboard, and so I was encouraged that our defense was, outside of the kickoff return, was really able to do a pretty good job. But I tell you, I think the night was really defined by how we were able to, execute, not just on defense in certain situations, but our offense was really able to kind of impose our will, especially in the second half. And that's something I was really proud of coming off of fall break.
Imposing your will. Coach, you did, and I can look at the stat sheet here and see that 411 yards rushing. I mean, when you run the football for 411 yards, I mean, that's you're walking on air after seeing those kind of stats. I mean, because that's incredible when you think about it, because you run the football, you control the game, you win the game.
Yeah, I think that's well said, and I think the thing to me that, meant the most is it was two guys whose, name was called because of, some injuries we sustained against Blackman, right before fall break. And, Sam Bello and Jaden McKnight and, several other guys had to, step up. And, I think it says a whole lot about our offensive line as well. We had, Noah Richardson as a sophomore kind of step up and make his first start. And he, played several positions up front and did a tremendous job, has a really bright future in our program. Really proud of him. And, but Jaden McKnight and Sam Bello, two juniors, that I thought just did a tremendous job. Ball security, whenever you, have that many carries, I think ball security comes in. And, this is why, we try to develop as many ball carriers as we can, in a physical county like this. You can't just have one guy that any defense can hone in on. And so that's why you work depth, and that's why you, try to have as many guys as ready to tote the rock as you can.
Sam Bello, 14 carries, 167 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, the kid found pay dirt. And then Jaden McKnight, 29 carries, 209 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 200-yard rusher's great. 200-yard rusher, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, I think one thing that has really been a constant ever since I got to Stewart's Creek for the 2019 season is, we've just had some guys that can, that can carry the ball, and always have had guys. Amari Jelks, Gabe Walker, Kenny Jordan, Javari Ote, Caleb Floyd, Jeremy Smith last year, and Jamarcus Brown, Kingston McQueen, Jaden Stewart. Those guys couldn't play last night, but Sam Bello and Jaden McKnight just really stepped up, and I was really proud of them, and how they really understood what we tried to get installed over the fall break practices, and what we were able to do this week was awesome. But I tell you, there were some great performances defensively too. Kamarion Hill started as a senior last night for us and was a captain last night. Had a big pick in the second half, Danny, that I think really kind of sealed the victory. A tremendous play. Jonathan Hadley, Gabriel Gomar had some big plays as well for us on the defensive side of the ball, and really proud of how we were able to compete and win the second half as well and put the game away on defense.
Jonathan Hadley, that's a kid that I want to mention as our Smyrna Ready Mix concrete solid performer of the game. 6 tackles, a sack, and a fumble recovery. Talk a little bit about that kid. What class is Jonathan Hadley?
He's a senior, and I tell you something pretty cool from last night. As his older brother is serving our country, defending our country right now, and we actually surprised him last night with his brother fully suited up there in midfield. Jonathan was a captain for us, and his brother surprised him. And I had the pleasure to coach his older brother, Zach, in 19 and 20. And it's no surprise to me at all that, he's defending our country now. And our AD, Todd Harris' son, was deployed in Kuwait. And our principal, Dr. Clark Harrell, is a retired lieutenant colonel chaplain in the Air Force. And so, the opportunity to do that was really special. Zach and Jonathan's mom was on our touchdown club as well in the past, serving our program. And so I think that, really sometimes you worry about how that might make you too emotional, but with Jonathan, it was the exact opposite. I think it really just gave him that extra dose he needed to, have a tremendous night.
Fuel for the fire. That's good
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about quarterback R.C. Davis. I think 6 for 9 passing, 107 yards, and a touchdown, and he ran the football a little bit too. Talk a little bit about that kid.
Yeah, R.C., I thought he had his best night since he became our starter the week we played Rockvale, and just really had a great week of practice, starting to, really see, what the defense is doing. We had 1 or 2 of those incompletions where we kind of got the look we thought, and we just didn't execute on this one high look. We had those incompletions on, and but he really saw the field well last night, threw it well down the field at times, out of the pocket, and I'm proud of how he really performed throughout practice all week and put it together last night.
Big night for Stewart's Creek for several reasons is what I've gathered from all this information here. Great to close the home season with a win and have this type of performances and emotions and all that stuff.
Oh, no question. We told the seniors that we wanted to leave it all out there and leave with a good taste in our mouth, heading into these final 2 weeks. And really proud of how we battled last night. Really good, football team that scored a ton of points in Knox Webb, and certainly some really, really dynamic athletes, especially Zero, who's headed to Clemson, tremendous player. And once again, really proud of our seniors and football team from last night.
So home season's over, but the regular season is not. Go to Oakland this week. Talk a little bit about what you want to see from your squad as you head to Oakland.
Yeah, obviously, going up against a team that, you can kind of, fall asleep and just think, well, here's the next Oakland group up. But, I'm just telling you, Danny, this is not, and this says a lot, I think, this is not your typical Oakland team. I mean, we kind of first glimpsed at them when we were getting ready for Blackman, and I'm just telling you that this is perhaps one of the best Blackman teams in school history, and Oakland, beat them 32-0. And I'm just telling you that score is not indicative at all of how dominant they were in that football game. You look at, the team they played out of West Virginia. I looked them up this morning, and, they're 6-1. Only loss is to Oakland, and that was a 49-0 loss. And so, CPA, Pearl Cone, the list goes on. I mean, it's incredibly impressive what they've been able to do this year. And even more so when everybody just expects you to do it. They've got 2 quarterbacks. Reminds me a lot of when we were getting ready for Ravenwood last year, when you can just really run, one of your quarterbacks at will, because you got another one that comes right in the next snap. I mean, it's very challenging to prepare for that. When both of them are playing at a high level, and just really well put together in all 3 phases, not just athletically, but schematically. And so certainly a huge challenge, for us going on the road this week to Oakland. I have a whole lot of respect for all their coaches over there, and Coach Creasy's, just doing a tremendous job this year, as he always does, and excited about the challenge. You always learn something about your team, and always pick something up when you go up against the standard that is Oakland. And so going to be an exciting challenge for us, and one that we're going to have to be well prepared for.
Well, I got pretty good confidence that you will have them as ready as you can have them, because you are Ben Caudill, head football coach at Stewart's Creek. Coach, we appreciate your time, and we certainly wish you the best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Danny.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com.